What's going on, guys? Noah Sanford here. Wanted to take a minute while I'm out on the water and show you guys my favorite bait finesse combo for the price. So what we got here is a Shimano reel paired up with a PHENIX rod. And I'm just gonna give you guys a quick overview of this combo, let you know what I use it for, why I like it, and why I think it's one of the best combos you can get for the price. I've always been partial to PHENIX rods and Shimano reels. It's what I grew up using. It's what I know, it's what I'm familiar with. They make super high quality stuff, both Shimano and PHENIX. PHENIX makes incredible fishing rods, extremely lightweight, incredible build quality, materials, things like that. And then Shimano also makes rods as well. I use some of their stuff as well, but for the most part, PHENIX rods. And then Shimano's reels is really where they shine. This is gonna be one of those combos that is kind of a bang for your buck, right? So what I'm talking is, under a $350 price range, or right about $350. So under 400 bucks for a really solid setup. If you guys are familiar with bait finesse fishing at all, those lighter rods, really small bait casters, you know it gets pricey. Some of these combos will run $500, $600, $700, even $800. You can spend $1,000 on a combo if you want to. And there's guys who do it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But for the guy who wants the best setup you can get for the best price, this is kind of what I'd recommend. I've been using this exact combo for about the last 4 or 5 months now, and it's just been killer. So I'm gonna kind of go over it with you. Let's start with the reel. So this is the Shimano SLX 70. Now, Shimano also makes a BFS line of reels. But I found that this Shimano 70 XG has just been killer. So it's nice and small. It's super small in your hand. It's lightweight. Obviously, it's got that Hagane outside material, which I absolutely love. It almost feels like that kind of crossover between the plastic and the metal, but it's lightweight. Really nice handles on here. The star drag, super smooth. The actual drag is just buttery smooth. And then I use this in the 8.2 to 1 gear ratio. So what that means, if you guys aren't familiar, every time I turn the handle a full rotation, that spool rotates 8.2 times. The reason I like that for bait finesse fishing is because a lot of the time you're fishing these baits quickly. You're using little jerk baits, little top waters, stuff like that. And you really want that bait to be moving quick. That higher gear ratio really helps out a ton. Overall review, I've been running this exact reel for 4 or 5 months now, almost daily. I guide out here on Lake Mead. I use it almost every single day. Put a ton of hours behind it. I've never even cleaned it, oiled it, done anything, and it's just as smooth as the day I got it. Overall, a great reel. Now, price, this reel comes in right at $149. So depending on where you buy it, it's gonna be between 140, 150 bucks. Super cost-effective reel for what we're doing here. Let's move on to the rod. This is from PHENIX. This is the RECON Elite. This rod's gonna come in right around 200 bucks, depending on where you buy it. I've seen it for 199, 209, right in that price range. So really, we're looking at 350 bucks for the whole setup, with tax still under that $400 mark. Unless you live in California, then maybe not. But anyways, the RECON Elite, it's a great rod. The actual specs on this rod, what do we got here? This is a 7-1. And this is the light action. I really like the light action. It's rated for 1/16 to 3/8 ounce lures. I've never thrown anything heavy as 3/8 ounce. Most of the time, I'm usually running anywhere between a 1/10 and an 1/8 ounce lure when I'm fishing this rod. It's a pretty fast action. It's got a decent, midsection, but that tip is really where it shines. If you guys can notice here, when I go like that, the tip is super whippy, right? I don't know if you guys can see that out there, but the tip is extremely whippy. Now what that does is when you're working these bait finesse lures, your little poppers, your little jerk baits, stuff like that, you want that really limber tip, because what that's going to do is allow that bait to get way more action, especially when you're working a topwater lure. You can get that tip whipping so fast that it's actually working faster than your wrist can work that topwater. So it's making that bait move even faster than you physically can. Overall, a great rod. This thing weighs literally nothing. Before I put this reel on this thing, you can't even hardly feel it in your hand. Extremely nice construction. It's got a lot of guides, so a lot of points of contact to your rod, making it even more sensitive, which is crucial for that bait finesse setup. Overall, killer rod. So if you guys are looking to get into bait finesse fishing, you want to throw those little baits on this bait casting gear as opposed to spinning gear. This is a combo I recommend. Like I said, SLX 70, PHENIX RECON Elite. You're looking at under 400 bucks out the door. The line I like to put on it. Now, I like Power Pro Super Slick, I think they call it V8 line. The reason I like that is because a lot of these lures are small and they're light that you're gonna be throwing with this setup. So that slick braid really helps the line come off the spool nicely, even with those light lures. For fluorocarbon, I always use SUNLINE. SUNLINE has been the best for me. I've used it for years. In my opinion, it's the strongest fluorocarbon out there, especially when it comes to the weight of the line that you're using. And then it's also the clearest. I've used it next to Seagar, I've used it next to Daiwa, a lot of different brands. I've found that it's the clearest and the strongest. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to get into bait finesse fishing, this is a combo I recommend. If you guys want to buy this exact combo, the line, the fluorocarbon, the reel, the rod, anything here, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link down in the description below that you guys can check it out and buy it for yourself. None of this is a paid endorsement whatsoever. This is just the stuff I like using, and it's what I've found effective out here on the water every single day. All right, guys, Noah Sanford here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.